Hey, it's Micheline with Fit and Healthy for Yourself, and today I want to share something personal that I kind of struggled with, but also realized in the last couple of days. Um, and that's the fact that we all change, and I have changed over the last couple of years, especially in my mindset and my thinking. And I'm always struggled with the fact, well, I've always said differently and now have different opinions, and now I've, different ways of thinking. So does that make me a person who constantly flip-flops on their opinions or what they believe in? And I realized, no, if you realize that your beliefs have changed, that's because you either evolved or you changed or you learned something and you realized your beliefs before were not completely accurate. So this is pretty much where I'm coming from. As a kid, I hated sports. I mean, I did everything to avoid it at all costs. I called in sick a million times. I think I had my period like 3 times a month just to get out of gym. And if I could, I took an automatic F for things. I avoided gym at school like the plague. And that's why a lot of my friends are now like laughing because I became basically this fitness person, and they're like, whoa. So, and I grew up on homemade cooking. We had lots of potatoes, lots of bread. I'm German, so that's what we grew up on. We had lots of cold potatoes, bread, everything. We also had our fair share of candy. And I was never overweight, never had issues with that. But we ate all of that. And then as I get older, I always, I realize, okay, I should start working out a bit. It's good for your health. But I always said, I'm never this person who could get up early in the morning, and because I have no motivation for that, and you could do anything to me in the morning, I will not work out in the morning. I'm just not a morning person. I've said that for years. And also I've said, my body does not work out in the morning. It sucks. Even when I had a trainer, my trainer used to say, when I come in at 8 o'clock in the morning, it sucks. I couldn't lift anything at 8 o'clock in the morning. Come 4 o'clock, I can lift pretty heavy. But that's why I always said I'm not a morning person. I was pretty much very stubborn on that. And the same thing is, since I grew up on carbs, I always believed my body needs carbs to run on. I cannot live without carbs, especially in the morning. I need that. I need breakfast. That's another thing I always believed in is you need to eat as soon as you get up. You need breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day. And that's pretty much all I believed. And, as time goes on, I'm starting to realize that not everything that I believed in, it's not that it's not wrong, but it doesn't necessarily apply to me. I have come over the last couple of years, I've really have tuned in very finely to my body. I know I can listen to my body very well. I immediately know when something is up and I need to change something. It has taken years. It's taken a lot of trial and errors and experimenting and doing things that I now really know what my body needs and what it doesn't. And with that, my whole belief system changed. And that has nothing to do with that everything before that was wrong. It's just I evolved. I've learned from my body, and now I just implement different things, what actually works. So I read a lot, and I don't take everything I read immediately as true. Especially on the internet, you can't believe everything you read. But if you read the same thing from multiple good sources, then there is probably a truth to it. But the other thing also is, you still don't know if that applies to you. Because the thing is, Yeah, it's all textbook, but our bodies and our lives are not cookie cutter textbook. Not everything will work for everyone. Just because it says it in the book it works, it doesn't necessarily mean it works for your body. So I take everything I learn with a grain of salt because I'm like, all right, let me try this out and see if it works, how my body responds to it. My body doesn't necessarily likes everything I try to experiment with. It just doesn't work. So, and that's the way basically. So now I've learned that, for a lot of research, I think my body doesn't need carbs to run on. That was a big, wake up call. I don't need it. And yes, it does take training and it does take a couple weeks of adjustments. Nothing happens from today to tomorrow. Nothing happens overnight. It takes patience. So I've learned to, my body doesn't need carbs to work on. It can run on fat perfectly fine. Same thing. I don't need to necessarily eat breakfast in the morning. I still eat breakfast, but not necessarily at 6, 7, or 8 o'clock in the morning. I incorporate intermittent fasting at points where I don't eat for 16 hours. And that sometimes means I don't eat until 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I stop eating by 6. So, but I also know I don't do that every day. Some days I wake up very hungry in the morning, so that's not the day I'm going to do the fasting. That's the day I'm going to eat normally. So I've really learned to listen to my body. And I've also learned that a lot of things go through my mind. And I had to change my belief system. So workouts in the morning, they don't kill me anymore. But it's, I've had to learn, it's the only time I can consistently get workouts in. So my goal is to be healthy. So therefore, the only way to accomplish that is if I do a morning workout. And yeah, I'm still not that great in the morning, but it's going to take, but I'm getting better. It takes weeks and months for my body to get used to it. But I don't have a problem with the patience and to keep at it. So basically the moral of the story is that just because your beliefs change and just because you changed your mind on a couple things, it doesn't mean you're suddenly a hypocrite and went back on what you said before and you're flip-flopping and you're trying all these different things. No, it just means you're learning and you're evolving, and it's never too late to change. So if you're not happy, change something. But you have to have patience. And that's basically what it is. If you want to change, just do it.